Hi, howdy, and hello. My name's Tom, and welcome back to Tom's Tale Time, where I tell fun stories, and afterwards, you and I do a fun little activity together. Today, I have another amazing story to read to you guys. So, without further ado, give me a big drum roll. Ta-da! Today's story is I Really Like Slop by Mo Willems. Let's get into it. La 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 la. Look how happy Piggy is. What does she have in her hands? That looks quite interesting. Hi, Gerald.
Hi, Piggy. Yikes!
Look at his face. He's going,
Ugh. What is that?
this is slop.
Slop?
Yummy, yummy slop. Look how happy she looks.
Gerald says, Yummy? You eat that?
Sure, I eat this. Pigs really, 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 really like slop. My goodness, she's so excited. Eating slop is part of pig culture.
Oh, says Gerald. Should it smell like that?
And Piggy takes a big sniff. And
Yes!
look at her face, how funny. What about all those flies? Look how many flies there are. 1, 2, 3. The flies are how you know it's ripe and ready to eat. Look at this fly says,
Yeah! Come on! Of course!
do you want to try my slop?
Gerald, do I want to try your slop? No way!
Look at him. He's flying in the air. Gerald shouted that so loud. Oh. Okay. Look at Piggy's face. And she walks away. Walk, 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 walk. Look how Gerald feels. He looks like he feels a little bad for shouting like that.
Piggy, wait.
I wonder what's gonna happen. Yes, Gerald? Look, she has a poor tear running down her face. I will
Try your slop.
Yay! Says Piggy. Maybe you will really like my slop. Gerald goes,
Maybe.
try a big, big taste.
I will try a small taste, says Gerald.
And he takes the tiniest little pluck. That is a small taste, says Piggy. You're close to trying my slop. Closer, closer. And look at him. Tink. You tried
Look at Gerald.
Spicy, huh? Says Piggy. Do you know how I get that old shoe taste? Old shoes! And he's still doing backflips. And so do you really like my slop?
Look at Gerald. Let's see what he says. No, I do not really like slop, but I'm glad I tried it. Because I really like you.
And Piggy says, "Oh, Gerald!" Look at her blushing. Dessert? Fish bones?
Gerald says, don't push it, bub.
That's the end of our story. What a fun story! Even though Gerald didn't really like Piggy's slop, he was still a good friend and tried it. Have you ever tried something you don't like? I have. Well, today you and I are gonna make some slop, but it's gonna be delicious. So, follow me to my kitchen to do a fun little activity. Let's go! Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen. Today, we're gonna be making some slop, aka delicious ice cream. So for this experiment, you're gonna need ice, 1 big gallon bag, a smaller plastic bag, salt, sugar, vanilla, a measuring cup, milk, heavy whipping cream, and food coloring to make it a fun, sloppy color. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you're gonna do is take 6 cups of ice and fill it in your large bag. Once you have all your ice in the bag, you're gonna add 1 cup of salt. I use rock salt, but you can use whatever salt you have around the house. Once you have that, you can now take your smaller bag and fill it with 1 cup of milk and 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. After that, you add your sugar, and I put half a cup of sugar in mine. Once you add your sugar, you can then put your vanilla extract and then add your food coloring of choice. I'm using all 3 colors so that I get a kind of gross, sloppy looking color. As you can see, I'm starting to mix it up. Now, I take my smaller bag, put it inside my larger bag, and it's important to make sure both bags are securely shut before shaking. Now you can see I'm shaking the bag, shaking. This process can take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, and it's important to make sure you have a rag or something to hold the bag because it can get really, really cold because of the reaction the salt has with the ice, right? So you continue to shake and you continue to shake until you start to get a more solid feeling ice cream in the middle. So here you can see I'm doing many different techniques, and I'm gonna check to see how my slop is, and it's not quite ready. So I'm putting it back in the bag, and I'm shaking and I'm shaking and I'm shaking and I'm shaking. I would suggest doing this over the sink because you could get a lot of water on the table if you're not very careful. So I am now taking out the slop, and we're gonna see if it worked. And look at that. We've made some ice cream and it looks pretty yucky, but let's try it. Wow, It's delicious. I had so much fun with you guys today. From reading a book about slop to making our own delicious slop in my kitchen, it has been such a joy. Well, if this is something you like, please make sure to subscribe. And if you have any ideas or books you'd like for me to read, please comment down below. Well, until next tale time, I'm Tom. See you later. Bye bye.